Welcome back, guys. It's week 6, episode 5 of Salted Spitoonz TV. You're here with your commish and your co-commish.
I'm in the mix, baby.
Yeah, so we're just gonna start it off real quick. It's gonna be on Eli's contender. Actually, going back, I think I forgot something. I think there's gotta be like a shout out or some shit, I forget. Oh yeah. It's a shout out to highest score. I mean, it's already getting boring, at this point.
Back to
Back
back.
to back. Your co-commission self scoring like what was it, 200 or something?
I mean, basically, I think the
Basically.
counter broke. If you ask me, I think Fournette and McPherson had more points on them.
Damn.
How much I pay the
It was a good
rest?
week for AURS himself, getting another payday. Got $40 in the bank already.
Already?
Already going might end up with the highest score next week. We'll see. All right, starting off with a contender. It's gonna be for me. I think it's Little Chubb.
Okay.
I think he has been consistent.
Yep.
He's on like his team with the trades that he's making is only gonna get him that much better. It was upsetting that he ended up playing the person with the highest score this week,
Yep.
and he still had 145 points. He's only been in the 100 like 115 to 130 range. So I think he is a contender, honestly, and his record does not reflect it. So
I agree.
yeah,
Hell of a battle. If you win 145, you're supposed to win. You put up 145, you're
yeah.
supposed to win. I agree. On the opposite side of
So
that,
who's your pretender? Ooh, this is a juicy one, actually.
there's a lot of options to go around.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's too juicy for me to just have one. I think I gotta
There's more than one.
give me both the Davalas. I'm saying I'm doubling down and I'm tossing in an extra because it's around the holiday season and I'm in the season of giving. So I'm gonna give y'all a little extra. If you ask me, I've seen it before with another pretender in the league. When I talked about H-Rods and I talk about these blow-up games that don't duplicate themselves, like with the Bucks defense. We saw that. We saw that bear out. When we talk about 4 touchdowns on 25 yards, it's not going to bear out. That doesn't happen. That's an L.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to keep bearing out. And then we're talking about these trades the man's Savage Dav made look good on paper. They're not looking good in the lineup right now. That Pittsburgh O-line is terrible, and Najee is not paying off. If he's not getting that push out from Najee, now I'm worried about the baseline of this team. That the ceiling's high. That's not what I'm debating. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If the name of the game in the regular season is to give yourself as high a floor as possible to win as many games as possible, you want the ceiling in the playoffs. Not going to matter if you don't get there. And with a floor like this, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be there. So that's my two hot takes on you guys. Is I'm doubling down on Anna, and I'm throwing in the brother for the mix. So between Davs, I'm putting them both pretenders. I'm not seeing champs. Not right now.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Savage Dav. Good to have you last week.
Going to be a guest again. We'll catch him in.
We'll catch you next week. See what happens. All right, now we're going to trades. Got a nice little juicy trade. Interesting to me. I thought these guys were buddy. Chubb and Pickens. Sad to see him let go. That's interesting to me. Yeah. What? I wonder what happened there. Doesn't believe in the Steelers, probably.
I have it on good authority. I've seen the Shefty tweets. Chubb loves Pickens. For him to give up Pickens is strange to me. I mean, but
Diego, yeah.
It just might be. Yeah, you're right. To Diego for Henderson and Elijah Moore. It might be like we're talking about with Najee and that Pittsburgh goal line. Maybe he's thinking Pickett isn't going to have time to throw to Pickens. So maybe that's what he's banking on. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I know I'd rather get Pickens out of all the three players here, but
Yeah.
maybe Chubb sees something we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. All right, and next segment, one of our friends of the show hopefully comes onto the show soon. You got your first ever Poppy index for a while. I haven't seen this.
In fact,
So
since last season. Yeah.
since last season, of course. Yeah, yeah. The Poppy index. So I'm gonna read it out to you, just names and then these Poppy points that he has assigned to people. Right now, in the top
Pole
three, you
position.
got eight pole positions. You got A Rojas at number one, Mescal Poppy two, Little Chubb three, which kind of I mean I don't disagree.
I
You
get
got
it.
Tex Mix on the four, Cool Arrow, Diego J Molly, Savage Dab, A Troj, and running out the end is your commission himself. Pop the points, it looks like the top two are taking it right now, being Mescal and A Rojas having 830 and 740, and almost everybody else being pretty close to each other in terms of these Poppy points. Do I know what magic was put into these numbers? I don't, but it seems like this kind of aligns with our power rankings index. But do you have anything else to say before we go into our power rankings?
I've done some extensive research into the PaPI index. I've seen the
Yes,
open
yes.
source coding. It comes
Uh,
from a mix of points for, total potential points, comes from a
mhm,
mix of how good the teams you're playing against are. And he's mentioned that consecutive wins matter, so consistency. So he's got like a modifier for like record as well based on those
mhm,
streaks. So
yeah.
that's a little bit of behind where the logic is coming from. So I'm thinking it's the Poppy is more seeming like a manager statistic, like playing the right guys gets you the points.
Mhm,
So I wonder, what I would want to know is it more so favoring or weighing strongly the points that you score or your potential points? Because the potential points is the
yeah.
roster, the points you score is your
Mhm,
manager. So I wonder if this is saying I'm
yeah.
the GOAT manager or I got the GOAT team. I think they're both
Yeah.
right either way, but I just would be curious what's
Yeah.
the
Yeah. I'd be really interested to see what
so
I would like
give
which
us
one it
those
would
deets.
Yeah, give us some more deets. Maybe make a Poppy coin. That's what I'm interested in actually. Get some stocks
Popcorn.
in there.
Yeah.
All right, but let's go into our power rankings and rounding out number one. I mean, it's kind of aligned with the Poppy index. It's your co-commish himself, A Rojas, 180 points. I know no one wants this, but the number one, I'm sure what could go wrong? You got 180 points. You got that running back depth. I mean, what, like three, four RB1, like three RB1s with like Christian McCaffrey benching him. Who? That's absurd. So yeah, I love your team. It's fucking dominating, and it's only going to continue.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love my team too.
All right,
It's that
and then
easy.
who we got at number two?
Number one in sleepers heart, we got Mescal Poppy, who basically dropped 170. We're talking about me dropping 180. Dude dropped 170. So this guy's fucking hot up here right now. He's so hot. He's the
All right.
Hansel of the league right now. And we're talking that's the performance he got with a decoy Amon-Ra St. Brown and a decoy Jalen Watt. He
Mhm.
could have had 200. He could have had 200 too. So I'm
Following
not
you.
I'm not sleeping on this team. I think we could be looking at a finals
A
rematch.
rematch
Could be going
at
back
a
to back.
finals rematch? Are you calling it?
And I already
Damn.
got rid of Burrow. So he can't pick up Burrow from free agency this year. They already traded him. He can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to recreate history and just change it just a little bit. Just a little bit. What about three? Who you got running out top tree?
Who got number three right now? This one's a little interesting. It's gonna be Tex McSana herself. Uh, she won. Kelsey showed up, put that team on her back. Those running backs, like we said, it's gonna hurt her, and it was on full display last week.
Yeah.
ETN did kind of show up. Is he gonna be the RB1 this year? Is he actually going to be the RB1, and he's showing signs of it. So it might carry her team a little bit higher. But right now she's at number 3 with those tight ends, man, and Cooper Cup. That is her team,
That's the
and
team. It's the core right there. Those three.
it's tough, and that's a tough team to beat out right now. So yeah, who we got at number 4?
Chubb, simply Chubb, who is simply a fucking goon. How how do you talk down somebody who dropped 145 and lost? I mean, the guy's got a deep team. The touchdown potential is what is noticeable about his team. These are all guys who can score a lot of touchdowns. So
Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack, boy. Like that's all you gotta say.
Jeff Wilson.
Like
I mean, if he stops messing around and plays Jeff Wilson instead of these other running backs who don't get on the field, he's going to come away with more wins than not. So no, I'm super impressed with that team. I think that's rightfully a top playoff contender.
Yeah, and this one might be a little bit kind of controversial, but it's Diego. I know it's 1-4, but I know. He's in the rankings. He's in the rankings. The PaPI index, he was at what? 6, I think. So it's not completely absurd. I think Diego might be turning things around. He's been making big moves, and I think they've been for the better of his team. He did let go of a lot of major pieces, but I think it was only dead weight, honestly. Cutting out that fat and making himself more of a solid team,
Okay.
giving himself like a better floor, honestly. So it'll be interesting to see the actually talk more about Diego, especially in his upcoming match against Miscad. But who we got at 6 running it out?
Okay. I like that. And that's a little projection there. I think we're doing a little projecting here because we got Savage Dav at 6. He's not going up. He's climbing. He's not climbing the ladder. He's dropping down after almost 100-point loss. And it's that Bengals offense. Who knows what's wrong with that offense besides Zach Taylor. We talked about with Najee the problems. It's problems with Green Bay's O-line too. Bakhtiari is taking like every other series that he's playing, so that O-line's not as cinched up. The passing game is probably making the run game struggle. You just worry about the performance out here. So that floor, it's like we were talking about, that floor is just lower than we really thought it was when we saw the trades come through. So now we're seeing it.
And then let's get into matchups and pick them. So you got Cool Arrow and Cool Kid. So this is a cool
matchup.
Manager matchup. Yeah, it's a cool matchup. Pretty cool. So I guess talk about it. Talk about these cool managers and what's your opinion? Who you got?
I have completely come around. I don't think this is close. I mean, I'm not piling on because he already pointed it out. His team is busted health-wise, and Gibson and Herbert just lost their starting gigs. So I don't know if he's going to fill the full roster of starters. I think he's going to have to throw some bench guys in there. So that makes me want to stay far away from Coolero right now. If I'm picking, I'm taking easy money. I'm going Cool Kid in the W this week. What do you got?
Yeah, I gotta go the opposite there. I think Coolero somehow gets this Frankenstein to score some points. He's got backup running backs, but his wide receivers can go off and make up for the lack of RB production. Bengals, again, it's not great. It's rough. Missing a wide receiver, so gonna have to potentially pick someone up from waivers. Hope that I get someone good. Hope that I don't get another goose of a Conklin, and it's just looking rough. 1-4, 1-4. It's gonna be a rough matchup. Whoever comes out of it at 2-4, guess it's a slight glimmer of hope. And I mean, hopefully I do take it, but for now I'm calling Coolero. Actually, fuck that shit. I'm calling Cool Kid. I'm calling myself like backer running backs. No, like
how?
Unless it's like I don't know what happened.
You're gonna get a Gibson punt return touchdown,
dude. Whoever it was, I think it was since that first matchup against Anna. This bitch went against the Bruja, and now you see where you're at. That's why he was warned. If he wasn't warned, blame your cousin, bro. Blame
I
your cousin. He should have fucking warned you.
I remember
Bruja ideas were on the league.
clearly warning Culero about this. And everybody was like, "Don't listen to him. It's not your friend." Look what happened. I'm looking out for you, Culero. I've been the one gassing you up all season. But now it's too far. Now I got to wear a bag over my head because I'm a fan of Culero. It's just like being a Texans fan.
Yeah, bro. It's tough to watch. Hopefully, it gives me that 2-4, and then just giving me that momentum that I need for my next week. Next matchup is this Bruja against Candle. Is that what we're calling it? This superstitious bowl.
Yep. Either of those.
Diego with the Hocus Pocus match. I
was gonna say that. I think you're.
Yeah.
I sent that over. Mind.
I got it. Yeah, dude, you got Diego relying on witchery, witchcraft. You got Mescal with his candles that seem to be working. 170 points. Diego completely demolished my team, but he demolished his own team as well. I think he still needs to go back to the Wizardry 101 so he doesn't affect his team too much. But that Mescal Diego matchup, it's looking juicy. Maybe Diego actually deserves that, earns that power ranking with this matchup. And who you got in it right now?
Not Diego. I'll go in Mescal just because I think this is, and I think Diego probably factored this in. He does not have a lot of room to take L's right now, but I think he's going to sit on one this week because he's got no Jacobs. Jacobs is on a bye. Swift is on a bye. Olave is concussed, so he might not play this week.
Mm-hmm.
So this seems like a calculated risk of like I'm going to be missing so many players. You against Mescal, you can't afford to sit that many players. You just can't. So
yeah, it's gonna be rough. I just noticed that he's playing Jalen Warren right now, so I bet he's looking at those waiver wires, and if he does pick someone up, it might help him out. But yeah, he is struggling right now with, the injury bug, the bye week bug. Like shit, he's got 4 people on bye, including whoever's on IR. So yeah, it's the bye week really hurt him. And I also got Mescal PaPI there. It's easy unless, and I believe in his candles. They've been working so far. Light another one up, and we should definitely skip through this one. Next matchup, Chubb against H-Rods. H-Rods has been pretty silent until this last week, really, where he had some glimmer of hope, and Kelsey, man. So right now, we love Chubb. I love me some Chubb. H-Rods, I don't know where you're at, man. I don't know where your head's at. Need to make some moves, but currently I got little Chubb winning this one.
I do too. And I think the matchups are there for Chubb. Buffalo, Kansas City. In theory, high scoring game. Jeff Wilson gets Atlanta. He should feast. McLaurin gets Chicago. He should feast. I just see a lot of good matchups on the board right here. So
yeah,
I think it's Chubb. I think Chubb's going to put up a ton of points. Don't get me wrong, H-Rods has some good matchups too. Just if both teams have high floors, and I think they do, we could see like a 110 to 130. So I'm not saying that they both won't score well, but the upside on Team Chubb's a little bit
on this Chubb is pretty good right now. And losing Derek Yeti, that sucks. It was a bad, it's the worst time. Henry was just getting started too. Snell was falling,
and that gets rid of the upside. I mean, Singletary and Mostert just still, like I'm saying, they're gonna score points. They're not gonna be zeros, but yeah, like you're saying, I mean, they like you've been saying, the snow in Vermont, it was falling. This was supposed to be Yeti season, and now we got to sit through a bye. He's hibernating.
He's hibernating. He's gonna come up. He's gonna come back strong. I believe it, but it just sucks. It has to be against Chubb, and I know H-Rods needed this win right after that upsetting loss of his. Unfortunate. All right, we're going into Jay Molly and Savage Dav. Should be a